Welcome back, everybody. Let me show you what I'm starting with. It is early hours of the morning and I walked into the kitchen to this chaos. I don't even know how it gets this bad during the week. I mean, there's 3 of us work full time and one of us is at college full time. We are never here. How does one house get into such a state when nobody is even in it? I mean, to be fair, like I say, because we're not in it, no one's here to actually do the work. So when you come home from school or work, you literally just dump your stuff and move on with your day. The laundry gets washed, dried, and then just sort of dumped in the big clean pile on the sofa, ready to rock and roll. And it all waits for me on my weekday off to clean it, organise it, put it all away. Like literally, you have showers, you take your clothes off and you just dump it. I was going to be cleaning, but the builders arrived. Oh my goodness. Okay, they left chaos. This is after day 1. So my flower beds, again, they seem to like crushing my flowers to these builders and contractors. Then literally they used my flower bed as a rubbish dump, like literal rubbish dump. I was just, there aren't words. There aren't words. I was so annoyed. I get where we are doesn't look like pristine and amazing and all that, but I'm working on it. That rubbish was to be collected later. I was fuming about it until I found out what it was there for, and it was okayed it could be there. After decorating Alyssa's room, they've made massive holes in like the wallpaper. They've got grubby handprints absolutely everywhere, and like I say, I get we don't live in a palace. The house does not look amazingly decorated. There's furniture everywhere, the carpets are up, there's oil all over my carpets, despite them putting that plastic sheeting down to stop that. Like I keep saying, I get we don't live in a palace, but I'm trying to make things better. And every time I try and make things better, these people come in and destroy my house. Nice trip hazard there at the top of the stairs. We had to have the light on that night. There's holes in my walls. We actually had water coming through the ceiling at one point in the living room. So there's a massive hole in there. It's just like Swiss cheese everywhere. Oh no, that hole won't work. Here, they didn't even use a drill. They just took a hammer and started knocking lumps out of the wall to get in. They've cut wires and just left them exposed. It's infuriating. This made me laugh though. The pipe starts here, my finger fits nicely snug behind it, and then it deviates off and they've actually gouged the wall out to get the pipe in. Now I know the walls aren't particularly straight and plumb, but that just, what the hell? It gets worse though. The one below it follows this one nice and straight, and then all of a sudden it kinks off out at a funny angle and ends up about, I don't know, an inch, maybe 2 inches away from the other one. Then they smash a hole through the wall. What's more infuriating is down here is where the old heating pipes used to run. It's the same size pipe. Why didn't they just put it through that hole rather than gouging out bits of my wall and slamming massive holes through, which they still haven't repaired yet, by the way. I just don't understand it. They literally came in with no plan, no idea, no clue, and just started knocking lumps out of my home, ripping up the floorboards, covering everything in oil and grease and God knows what else. They left trunking. They didn't even put the trunking on. I asked them, where are you going to put the trunking on? No, you can do that yourself. And they just disappeared. This great big thing, this is the air source heat pump. This is the bit that actually does your home. It was supposed to be put in a corner, but literally now I get a foot and maybe about a half width. I'm a size 8 shoe, UK size 8. I think that's European size 47 or something. But I get literally a foot and a half of pathway to squeeze around this monstrosity of a thing. It was supposed to go in this corner, I'm showing you now. So there was a nice big area to walk past it. Everything would have been okay. But no, in their infinite wisdom, they decided to dump it there. So now we cannot use this bit of pathway to access the back of our house. You can't write this stuff. It's driven me insane. That up there, I did see on the CCTV one of the guys lumping the wall with a hammer. I'm not going to show that because obviously I don't want to show his face. But yeah, he was just hammering through the wall. There is a massive hole up there that you can't see because his drill bits was blunt. So he just hammered through the wall. I've no idea what this is all over the path. Looks like oil. I assume it came out the radiators. I really don't know, but look at it. It's everywhere. And guess who gets the joy of cleaning it up? Oh yeah, that would be me, wouldn't it? I put all their rubbish on top of this little blue thing. They actually added rubbish to it. Instead of putting it in a bin, they just added rubbish on top of that little blue bottle container thingy down there. I don't understand it. I really don't. Now, they did leave McDonald's wrappers everywhere. And the guys that took away all the rubbish that was here refused to take their wrappers away with them. So they cunningly shoved it in the bag of rubbish for the rubbish people to take away with them. The height of laziness from these people was astounding. Again, I'm not going to go into like the company name or anything like that because A, I don't want to get them in trouble. B, I don't want to get me in trouble. But suffice to say, not impressed. Not impressed. The copper piping they did take away, but yeah, all the rest of the junk was left in my garden. When I did complain about them, this is what they did. The weirdest thing is though, that bit there, there's no weld. Which to me would indicate a deliberate act. There's no weld there. But yeah, it goes quite far along. See, there's some in that corner. So I understand that, you know, it's overblown and I get that. How is it there? So yeah, that was either a deliberate act or someone has really bad aim. But they're supposed to use heat mats and things like that. Anyway, the electrician kindly repaired it for us. Didn't do an outstanding job. I mean, I paid for that to be fitted where it's part of the shower fitting. He did the best he could, but it wasn't up to the standard it was before he left. Anyway, they've pretty much finished now. As you can see, the trunking's still not on because I haven't put it on. I'm going to get them to put it on, although I don't really want them back in the house. I need to clean up though. They've done the majority of the work and everything, as you're going to see, is covered in a film of dust. It is literally going to take me days, if not longer, to clean all the dust out of everywhere because it's got into everything. And like, I'll sweep or hoover the floors and it will kick up dust. So I dust the sides and that knocks dust back onto the floor. So I hoover the floor and that kicks up dust and it ends up on the sides again. And it's just this vicious circle of moving dust around the house and slowly but surely getting less and less dust in the atmosphere, in the air. They did move all of the furniture out. I think Dell, he did some of the moving as well. But they moved a lot of the furniture out. But when it came to putting it back, suddenly... Oh no, love. We weren't even supposed to touch furniture in the first place. We weren't meant to move anything. Right. So you and your lads are capable of shifting it all out and causing absolute chaos in my house. But putting it back, making it right, fixing stuff, nah, beyond you, is it? Still, I swear down, one day I'm going to have a house that contractors turn up to and they respect because it looks nice. Although I genuinely don't know. Any contractors in the comments? Not that you're probably not watching these cleaning videos, but anybody know of contractors? Do you actually give a monkeys about people's homes, even when they look like mine? Do you actually care? Or do you care more when they look like Hyacinth Bouquet's house and less like Daisy and Onslow's? Because when I was talking to the general builder that turned up, I was asking about how, you know, everything's just been destroyed and moved around and no one's helped put it back right. And he said, well, what you've got to understand, love, is like, this is a job site. I was gobsmacked. Yeah, to you it might be a job site, but to me, Dickhead, this is my house. You know? To tell me this is a job site and you're treating it as such, is that just a standard builder thing? Do you all go to people's homes and it isn't someone's home, it's a job site? Or do you turn up to certain homes and it's a job site? Or you turn up to different homes and you're going to treat it with respect and wear overshoes and clean up your messes, not knock massive lumps through walls, and maybe listen to the resident of the home when they tell you actually there's a leak coming through the ceiling, like quite a big leak, like uh-oh, this is turning into a small-scale flood kind of leak. Dell told 3 separate people that there was water coming through our ceiling, and 2 of them did nothing. It was only when he was very insistent with the 3rd one did he trundle off to find something and yelled quite urgently at the rest of them that, hang on a minute, we need to shut the water off, this isn't good. It really doesn't instill you with much faith. We did get the heating, as you can see, installed. All in the wrong place. All where it wasn't supposed to go. None of it is where we agreed, not really. But it's in. And yeah, it didn't work. Upstairs, we've got a new boiler. I'll show you that in a little while. But upstairs, there's the new boiler. That was constantly trickling. You know, like when you flush the chain and your cistern fills up, it makes that waterfall type noise. That was 24/7 in Alyssa's bedroom. So she had to sleep with basically Niagara Falls in her cupboard. It was horrendous, this constant trickle of water noise. It was a really loud trickle of water. It wasn't just like a gentle trickle like a stream. It was like proper trickle of water, like someone left a tap on or the cistern was constantly filling. So she had to put up with that until I could get them back to sort that out. None of the radiators actually got hot. We were the first day or two, we were spending £10 every 24 hours. There, look at the dirt they've left everywhere. £10 every 24 hours on electric because it couldn't heat the house. They hadn't bled the system properly. There was air throughout the whole thing. It was in the hot water tanks. It was in the radiators. It was absolutely everywhere. So the electricity was just going absolutely crazy because it couldn't bring the water up to temperature or the radiators up to temperature because they were full of air. There was nothing for it to heat. So we got them back, finally, and they actually managed to set the whole system up. And since then, it seems to be working quite well, touch wood. It sits at a nice, comfortable temperature. So we've set the temperature at about 19 degrees. And yeah, it's ticking over and it keeps you at a comfortable temperature. I'm wearing my cardi, obviously. This is literally the same day the electrician left. So literally the guys have only just finished working. And I was like, get out of my house, I need to clean it. The guys that installed the heating, they downed tools at 4 o'clock, not 4 o'clock on Friday, 2 o'clock on Friday. At 2 o'clock on Friday, they did not care a fig about anything they'd left. Nothing. The electrician came back on Monday to fit some other bits. So this is Monday afternoon, something like that. He came back to fit some extra bits. So yeah, literally, no, this was Friday. This was Friday. So 2 o'clock Friday, the guys down tools and just gone. I was asking them questions and they were just like, down to you, love. And they were gone. They did not care. The electrician stayed for a little bit longer because he had some electrical stuff to do. And he left at about 5 o'clock. So this is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, somewhere around that time. I forget. It's been a busy couple of weeks. So yeah, I was like, right, I'm done. I need to get this house cleaned, get it back on track. Because as you can see, we could only pretty much use the living room. The entire house was in shambles. As you saw earlier, furniture was piled up randomly around different parts of the room. We've had to like move around, I don't know, I want to say 10 builders in total. There was only ever really about 5 here at any given occasion, but some would come, some would go, some would all turn up at once. So yeah, we've had to work around a lot of people. So I've not been able to do the ironing because if I got the ironing board out, I was in the way. We've not really been able to get to the washing machine because obviously the water's shut off so they can put like the heating system in and all that. The electric's been shut off so the electrician could do his things. Literally for about 3 days, we've been able to sit in this living room. That's it. It's been horrendous. It was supposed to be a 2-day job. It's went on to 4. We're currently waiting for day 5 for them to actually come back and finish bits that they haven't finished. But to be fair, I don't want them back in my house. I don't. They have to finish the job. We have to give them a chance to make things right, which I get. But really, if you're going to make such a mockery of it the first time round, why are you going to do any better job the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and now the 5th time round? I really don't have any faith they're going to, but we have to give it a try. So this is why, guys, I have been absent for a little while. I just haven't been able to clean. I haven't been able to film any content. Obviously, I can't film these guys and put them on the internet without their consent. And to be fair, I don't want to film them and put them on the internet. I don't want any advertisement is advertisement, right? Whether it's good or bad. And I don't want to be putting out their company name. I'd have to give them royalties or like monetary rights because I've used their name. And if I get any money from the videos, then I have to pay them too. But B, I don't want the company to get any sort of recognition because obviously if you know the name of companies, people, you know, they're out there. You know what I'm trying to say. And I don't want to give them that. You're going to see in a minute just how much dust. You did see from the top of the plug, but it's all in the air as well. And we've got there you go. Look at it. Look at it. This is what I mean. I dust the sides and this lot falls onto the floor. So I sweep and hoover the floor. And despite the HEPA filters in my hoover, it can't cope with the level of dust. So it just puts that dust back in the air. And then that ends up on the furniture and the sides again, and it's just a never-ending cycle to try and get rid of it. What I need is a week off where I can deep clean each room, get the carpet back out, take all the curtains down, strip all the bedding off, clean all the sofas, and just deep clean. Fortunately, at work now we're gearing up for Christmas, which means I am going now from a 4-day week to a 5-day week, potentially working up to 40 hours a week. And I know 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, that's a full-time job. Get it, understand, not griping about that. What I am saying though is working a 40-hour week and the shift patterns I do and that sort of thing, I am highly unlikely to be able to deep clean my whole house fully and get rid of all this dust. So the plan is I'm going to keep cleaning and just sort of get through the dust slowly but surely. I've made a massive dent in it, but it's still about. When I come to be doing the redecoration, which I can now do because they've finished what they were going to do, I am going to literally gut each room. I'm going to pull everything out. It is going to get scrubbed. It's going to get clean. I am going to pay for professionals to come in and do things like fit carpets and perhaps reskim the walls so they're nice and straight and even. I may even invest in a plumber and a general builder to gouge out the walls and try and put the piping into the wall so it's kind of hidden. But that could be very expensive. We'll see. We'll see how things pan out. But yes, now they have actually finished, I can get stuff done. And that is my plan. I do have a carpet fitter coming for the carpets upstairs. And brand new carpet underlay being professionally fitted on the stairs. At the moment, when you walk into my house, the first thing you see is my hallway. And, well, it doesn't look amazing. Oh, yeah, I did all that cleaning. And then he come back to rip the fireplace out. That was day 4's job. So this was meant to be done in the 2 days. Yeah, this was done day 4. So I literally finished cleaning and he come back and ripped the fireplace out and made a god-awful mess. So I got bored doing the living room and decided to start upstairs. Now, yeah, the door bars, they were all bent out of shape. They're completely useless. This is why I got the professional carpet fit to come in. So he's going to get all new door bars and underlay and all that and fit everything brand new for us again, which I can't wait. I've got to redecorate Alyssa's bedroom, redecorate ours. Everything needs redoing. Flaming so cross. But yeah, it took 3 men, I think, to move all this stuff around and get it into our room. It's going to take 1 woman to shift it all back. Even this massive wardrobe, I swear that's so heavy. Oh yeah, the carpet at the top of the stairs. No, we're just going to rip that up, love. I'm not going to put it back down for you. We're just going to dump that in the bedroom in that corner there for you. I'm sure you'll figure out how it goes back down. Don't really matter. You know, we don't care. It's not exactly like your house is pretty anyway, is it? I was so cross. It's probably how I managed to move the wardrobe, actually. Sheer, unadulterated rage. I can't remember what I was looking at here. Oh, that was it. For some reason, instead of putting like the carpet back down properly, they'd taken up the underlay and then just sort of shoved it back on the floor. Well, that's where it came from, isn't it, love? Came off the floor. It's back on the floor. What more do you want? I want it putting back how it was when you found it. Nah, we don't do that, love. We ain't decorators. We ain't carpet fitters. We took it up and now it's back on the floor where it belongs. That's all you can ask for, isn't it, love? I swear down. They didn't even take all that rubbish home with them. If you see on my chest of drawers there's a bottle of water. That's one of the builders. Left it there on day one. Still didn't take it with him when he left. There's bits of wood everywhere. Oh, the amount of nails that were sticking up out the floorboards. Craig stood on one. Thankfully, it didn't go through his foot. I thought it was going to go through his foot. And thankfully it didn't. But yeah, they've left nails sticking up out of floorboards. Yeah, every time I moved a piece of furniture, I was like, what am I going to find underneath it? Is it broken? Can I put it back together again? It was horrendous. But yeah, check me out. Check me out. Little Miss Muscles there. Ooh, ah, yeah. I got it in. It took some shifting, but it went eventually. And this is super, super heavy. I'm no little person. I mean, let's be honest with the world. I'm not exactly your skinny, slender, like 9 stone person, am I? I'm 100% not. I know what I weigh and I do not weigh that. And it's literally taking body weight to shift this wardrobe. It took 3 men to move it and I managed to do it. Little old me on my own. To be fair, Dell did say, wait until I get home, we'll do it at the weekend. We can do it together. And I was like, I need my house back in some semblance of normality. I may not be able to get it perfect just yet, but I need it to be at least usable, at least functional. Like, they moved everything around. We were literally climbing over stuff to get into bed in the evening. And I couldn't really hoover properly, so we were sharing our bed with dust and grit, God knows what else. I've never been in bed and had nice exfoliation, but I have now. Not an experience I want to repeat, thank you very much. So yeah, I was so keen to get everything sorted. I also only had 1 day. I had 1 day to get this done and then I was back to work. Obviously, like I do get the weekends and a lot of this was done at the weekend. But I had 1 day to get us back to some semblance of normality, so I had half a chance at the weekend of getting the house clean. So I start moving Alyssa's wardrobe. I need to get it back in her room, so I've got half a chance of getting our room clean. And I get it to about the door, and then I realise, there's literally no room in Alyssa's room to get the wardrobe in. So for now, I'm just going to abandon it here. We'll move it in a little while, and I'm going to get the rest of our room cleaned up. So yeah, there's just planks of wood everywhere. I think they're from us, actually, from where we were redoing the skirting boards and the door frames. We just never got the job finished. I'll get a professional out to do that. This laundry basket here is clean laundry, as far as I know. Yeah, that was clean laundry. So there's clean laundry on the sofa downstairs and clean laundry in the laundry basket upstairs. But I couldn't get into any of the wardrobes to put it away. I couldn't even get upstairs. Literally, we managed to squeeze round, climb into bed, go to sleep, and that was it. So yeah, it was great fun. I did find the picture frame that needs to go up. I'm never putting that up. It's just going to get put behind the wardrobe again and forgotten about for about 2 years. I'm never getting around to this stuff. I have so much to do. I just never get round to things. I'm one of those people, I start about 16 projects at once, never finish any single one of them. And then wonder why everything's the way it is. Oh, I don't know. We'll get there in the end, I suppose. And in true me style, as if I can hear myself in the voiceover, I'm about to abandon cleaning our bedroom and move on to Alyssa's room. I think my thinking was, obviously she gets home from work at about 4 o'clock. And it's cracking on late in the day here, so I need to get her room sorted. Now look at it. I sit on the bed for about 5 minutes before. I don't know where to start. This isn't her fault. I mean, obviously it is her mess. 100% it is her mess. But she's had about 3 square meters of room and all her stuff from under her bed, out of her cupboards, has just been pulled out and dumped everywhere. So yeah, I can't blame her for the level of mess that's in this room. I really can't. It's just not her fault. I did bring her some clean clothes in, and she's not been able to access any of her drawers to put them away. So they just got dumped in this pile of chaos in the corner. It is a lot of stuffed toys. See? They were in the old immersion heater cupboard that was in the corner. They were in there. But obviously when the builders ripped that all out, they just took her soft toys out, and I'm willing to bet, I didn't actually see them, but where I found them, I'm willing to bet they were just sort of flung into the corner of the room and left there. Anything that was on her walls has been taken down. I don't understand why they did that either. They were taking like picture frames and stuff off the walls. And it's like, why? You don't even need to be in that part of the house. Like, you know, that you're not touching that bit of wall. What? I just don't get it. That was a piece of the old airing cupboard, just shoved in the corner there with great big nails sticking out of it. I mean, I picked it up and scraped myself on it. So I don't understand why that was just deposited in the corner like, oh, there you go, love, have someone else deal with, we can't be bothered. Her radiator used to be on the wall behind me, underneath her curtains. They decided they couldn't be bothered to run copper pipe in all the way to the other side of the room. So they asked me if it'd be okay to put it on the wall where it is now. Without thinking, I agreed. I then rung Dale and said, no, don't get him to put it there because where's a wardrobe going to go? Turned out it couldn't go there anyway. But they just decided, tough, it was going there and that's the end of it. Now I've finally cleared some space in her room. It's all on a bed. I can get this wardrobe in. Again, Super Me to the rescue. All on me Todd. Dale did offer to help, like I said before. But I'm not one to accept help. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it on my own. It'll be eight. So I'm finally managing to get her wardrobe in. I do realise actually at this point I've got storage boxes under her bed for like a lot of her things, and because we couldn't get a big chest of drawers in here, she's got like her trousers and stuff in a box under her bed that she can pull out and access. But she can only access half of her storage box with her bed against the wall like that. She can't access all of her storage boxes. So where am I going to put all her storage boxes so she can access them? And how do I get her bed away from the wall so she can access them? Her room has literally been decorated and set up for her in a certain way. Now they've added the radiator in the wrong place, and they've put a massive new door on the airing cupboard. Her room doesn't work anymore. So now her room needs to be redecorated so her room can work for her now. I do figure out if I shift this little bedside table out and put it next to the other bedside table, I can get her bed more centralised in the room. And she'll be able to access the storage boxes like under both sides of her bed. But it took me so long to figure it out. I got so overwhelmed. I had to have a break and come back to it later. But I knew I had to get it done because literally all this stuff... This is how it was when the builders were there. All of this stuff was just dumped on her bed. So at the end of every work day, she's had to come home, take all this stuff off her bed. She's had nowhere to put it, so it's all got dumped on the floor where it was. Then the next day, the builders come back, they pull it all up off the floor and dump it all back on her bed again. And it's just been going that way for about 4 days. Dump on, dump off, dump on, dump off. Everything is covered in dust and filth and grime. So it's all getting washed again. It's been a lot. They've actually, in the process of just shoving her bed to the other side of the room like they have, they've loosened the bed frame because instead of picking it up and moving it, they've just sort of shoved it and dragged it, and it's pulled a load of the screws loose in the bed frame. So that's all wiggly and wobbly now, so I'm going to have to sort that out at some point. I am taking all her books downstairs. We were going to put up shelves for her and things like that, but no one ever gets round to doing that. So her books are going downstairs. I did manage to find a home for all her little soft plushies. They're going on top of her wardrobe. She does have that little cat condo thing for Baby Cat. Baby Cat doesn't use it, so her stuffies are going to use it. I'm going to put all her little stuffed animals up on the kitty condo on top of her wardrobe. So at least they are out of the way for now. Like I say, more books to go downstairs. I'm actually planning on nicking some of her books. I do like, is it Colleen Hoover? Yeah, it is. You can see one of her books there. I do really like that author. Absolutely amazing. And she has got like most of her series of books. I really want to read them. Never get a chance to read anymore. Maybe I should read before bed instead of watching telly. I do that sometimes. I might do that instead. Yeah, let's do that instead. I'm going to read before bed. She says with confidence, knowing that tonight when that rolls round, she's going to be laid in bed, watching TV, the book sitting unopened on the bedside table. Because that's just me. I promise myself I'm going to do these things and I never do them. Why would ya? Life's too bleeding short not to be comfortable and happy. But then, maybe if I read more, I'd be even more comfortable and happy. Who actually knows? I don't. And I don't think I'm ever going to find out. I am going to change her bedding. So don't fret. I do come round and change her bedding. For now, I just need to get stuff organised and in its place. And yeah, to do that, I just need to make her bed, get it tidy and just organised. Yeah, don't panic, please. I will come back and change her bedding. She's also 19, to be fair. If she is disturbed by her bedding being a bit mucky and grufty, then, you know, she knows where the washing machine is. She knows how it works. She's more than capable of stripping her laundry and changing her bed linen. So there is that to it as well. I honestly think my brain is just so overwhelmed at this point. I'd spent so much time doing Alyssa's room. I had a plan for everything, a place for everything. And then literally over what should have been 2 days and turned into 4 days, people have come in and torn my home apart. I know, I always knew it was going to be a bit of a messy job. I always knew it was going to be, you know, a bit of a disruption. But I didn't realise it was going to be quite this devastating. It really has been bad. And also I think because Alyssa's not been able to care for her room, it means she's just stopped caring for her room. The thing she was able to actually do, she's not been doing. Like, she's had her friend over and they've been doing face painting. And you know, they've been messing about with face painting for Halloween and that sort of thing. And she's used like cleaning wipes to take the makeup off and that sort of thing. And instead of tidying up after herself and putting her makeup wipes in the bin, they're just getting dumped and she's heading straight back off out. Because honestly, being in this house has been so depressing and uncomfortable and miserable for the whole time they've been here. And I can't blame her. I felt exactly the same. It has just been a case of dump and run. You know, you don't want to come home from work because what are you going to face next? What chaos is just going to be? Oh, another piece of wood with great big nails sticking out of it. Cheers, guys. But things like that, you know, like with Craig nearly stepping on a nail and nearly going through his foot. It's just been chaos. And none of us have had the energy to actually care or be able to do anything. And you know what it's like, you know yourselves. If you can't do something fully, what's the job? What's the point of doing it at all? She could have put her makeup wipes in the bin. Of course she could have done. But when your room looks like a snow globe that's been turned upside down and shook violently, you're not going to... What does it matter whether you put your makeup wipes in the bin or not? The rest of the house looks like a rubbish dump. So why bother? Why try? And I think that's the mentality we've all got into. And I cannot blame any of us. It's just felt like that. These people have come into our home and they couldn't care less. And it's been such a chaotic dump of mess that, why should we care? Why should I care if there's, I don't know, crisp packets laying around or whatever? Because the rest of the house looks like a rubbish tip. What's the point? What's the point in caring? I get what the point in caring is. Obviously, now, in hindsight, you know, this is my home. I should have been caring. I should have been trying. But when you're in the midst of it, when you're actually in the thick of it, and people aren't caring about you, people aren't caring about your home, why should you? You know, if you guys have given up, the builders, I mean, if they don't care, why should I? You know? And yeah, I know you shouldn't take your self-worth from other people. But it's hard. It's hard when you're actually living in this situation to not feel miserable, to not feel upset, and to not feel like giving up. And literally that's all we've done for about a week, is just give up. And that's why it's so important to me that on my day off I got as much of this house back to normal as I could. Yep, I haven't been deep cleaning it. Yes, I haven't washed everything and cleaned the dust from every orifice and crevice that I could, because that wasn't important to me. Of course, yes, I need to clean up the dust, I know I do, but it wasn't important to me. What was important to me was getting our home back in some semblance of functionality. So Alyssa didn't come in and see her room looking like the local, you know, recycling centre. She actually came in and saw a bedroom again, her room, her space. Not a space that's being violated by God knows how many grown men who just have no respect. I needed her to see her space again. And then maybe she could start taking pride in her space again, looking after her space again. And from there, I can work on cleaning the dust up. I can work on having the carpets fitted so it looks nicer in here again. Repainting her walls, making her room smell nice and cosy and friendly again. Because that's what we need. This is her personal space. And to take pride in it, it needs to feel like her personal space. Comfy, cosy and pride-filled. And that's where I want to get it. I want her space to function and be her space again. And I've got a long way to go to get the whole house put back together so we can all feel like that. I'm going to get there. I keep saying it, guys. I'm going to get there. I will get there. That's broke as well. I need to get that stuff back together. So I need to make a massive jobs list. I need a snag list. Anybody have any ideas how to make a snag list? Because mine's going to be long. It's going to be like a letter to Santa, or the naughty and nice list for Father Christmas. It's just going to be like list of, I don't know, 1,000 pages. I like a list though, so that's okay. I'll have a nice hot shower, get in my jammies, have a hot chocolate, and then I can make a nice list. This is the new monstrosity cupboard. So that needs painting and decorating. It is about, I think, 6 inches, a foot maybe. I don't know, I'm no good with measurements, but it is a lot bigger than the last one. So now none of her carpet fits on the floor. It does need painting and decorating, and that is why her wardrobe can't go where it was before, because the radiator's there and then this flaming door opens. It's horrendous though. There's like 4 tanks in there. 4 tanks to run the hot water and heating system. It's incredible. I thought this system was supposed to be better, and in some ways it is, and in some ways it most certainly is not. But it does mean, guys, there's going to be more painting and decorating videos coming up. I will say though, things are going to slow up until the new year. Because obviously at work now we are gearing up towards Christmas, and I am going to be going 5 days a week now. Hopefully I'll be getting some overtime as well to help pay for Christmas and things like that, and the renovation projects in the new year. Things are going to slow up. Hopefully you'll still get videos. They may not be full house clean videos. Oh, Alyssa comes home, so I have to stop. They may not be full house clean videos, but you'll probably be getting videos. Craig, oh poor Craig. They ripped up his door bar and basically left him trapped in his room. Every time he tried to open the bedroom door, the carpet runched up. He couldn't open his door further than that. So, of course, he could get in and out of his room. I wouldn't leave my 16-year-old son literally just trapped in his bedroom with no way out. He could get in and out of his room. But he had to squeeze through this tiny little gap in the door because they'd taken the door bars up. And, like I said, they're down tools at 2 o'clock on Friday. Why do I keep saying 4? They didn't stay till 4. God, no. 2 o'clock on Friday. They down tools and left. They didn't put the door bars back in. They didn't put the carpet back down. They didn't do any of that. I even had to check how close to the surface they'd put the pipes, because they'd put the pipes that close to the surface of these floorboards that if I drilled screws into them, there was a good chance I'd probably drill through the piping and then they'd have to come back out. I wasn't having that, so I was being darn tootin' careful. So I ripped all the floorboards up again. Well, I took them up. They weren't put down that well, so didn't need to rip nothing. I just unscrewed them, boom, up they come. Checked how high the pipes were, it was fine. But yeah, I got the door bar back in, guys. Don't you worry about it. I made sure my son could get out of his flipping bedroom without having to squish through a tiny gap. I swear down. Literally, they've just done half a job, Anna, and legged it. That radiator at the top of the stairs, it has a pipe running underneath it, obviously, for the water to circulate. There's a plug underneath that radiator that I used to plug the Hoover into, to hoover the stairs and all of upstairs. I can't use that plug socket now. Where they've put the pipe means that you can only plug select things in. Anything with a cable, you can't plug it in. It just won't fit because where the pipe is. So that plug socket's completely useless now. I give up. I absolutely give up. Still, once the door wall was back in, the stair carpet was back on, and that trip hazard was slightly covered a bit more. I did actually rip it off in the end. I couldn't get it to sit nice. Alright, so we're now at the weekend after the builders have left. It's time to get stuff even more cleaned. I still haven't really got time to be going around like washing all the curtains and stuff like that. So I am going to spray them down with, it's the Astonish multi-surface spray. It's the concentrated one. And I just put some of that in a bottle with some water and just spray it on. Smells fantastic. I use the lemon scent. It's really good. I did do test like areas on my fabrics first. I didn't just go around willy-nilly spritzing my fabrics, because otherwise you run the risk of like bleaching damage and stuff like that. Bedding is getting done today though. Honestly. Oh, the grit and muck in the bed. And I'm going to be able to hoover the floors. I didn't see much point in doing the bedding the other day because A, mountains of laundry to get through. B, if I couldn't get everything back where it needed to be, then I couldn't hoover the floors properly, and we were just going to be walking in dust and grit and God knows what else, and it was going to be getting in the bed anyway. So today I'm going to be able to actually get round to hoovering the floors, and I'm going to be able to do a bit more of an in-depth clean. I've got the whole of Saturday available to me. So I am going to get the bedding stripped and get this room and other rooms done pretty thoroughly. Alyssa and Craig are both in all of Saturday and Sunday, so I'm not going to be able to get their rooms done. Craig's also on half term from college, so you won't be seeing his room getting cleaned or Alyssa's room finished cleaning, because obviously they're here and they don't really want to be on camera, so that's fine. I won't force what they don't want. So we'll just have to do our room for now. I normally use Unstoppables with the bed linen. I normally use Unstoppables or their equivalent brands in my laundry, with all my laundry. It smells so good. It smells so good. But they are really expensive for what they are. So I thought, well, I'll just get some fabric softener. I'll get a new fabric softener. I'll use that instead. It'll be fine. And I brought a new fabric softener because it was cheaper than the others. It's still like a proper brand, like a Comfort, a Lenore. I won't say which brand it is because I can't remember. But it's like a Comfort or a Lenore. It's not like a cheapy own brand version or anything like that. And I washed the bed linen in it. I put it straight on and got it washed, dried and remade the bed later on in this day. And I'm sad. I climbed into bed expecting that beautiful, unstoppable smell, and there was no smell. There was nothing. And I was so upset. I'd done it. I'd actually got my laundry washed, dried, put back on the bed. I'd had a shower. I was clean. The bed was clean. The carpets were clean. The room smelt fresh and nice because I dusted it all. I climbed into bed. I snuggled down into my sheets. I put my nose into the duvet and sniffed. Nothing. Nothing. I was sad, guys. So sad. Lesson learned. I will be switching back to the Unstoppables. I love the Unstoppable smell. Or like I say, there's Lenore, I think, do their own brand. I do love that. I can't do the Fairy. I'm allergic to Fairy. I don't know what it is in Fairy. Brings me out in a nice itchy rash, and we don't like that, do we? So I will be switching back to the Scent Booster beads. Or I may get... No, I'm not. I do like the scents that come with the Lenore and the Comfort fabric softeners, like the original ones, but they don't seem to last long. Or at least I can't smell them for long. But the Unstoppables, oh my goodness. Or like I say, the equivalent brand. The scent beads you can smell for days afterwards. And I love that. I love climbing into my bed and being like, oh, Cody, oh, making me tired thinking about bed. So I think at this point, I'm a week post builders. Yeah, it must be. Give or take. No. Yes. I don't know. I really don't know. The days have just blurred into one another, to be fair. Either way, I'm a good couple of days post builder. I think they left on the Friday. I had the Tuesday off, which is when I did some cleaning. They came back out. Either which way. I can't believe how long it's taking us to get back on track after the builders have been. It really is phenomenal. I guess in some ways I've kind of been deluded. Although I was led to believe, like I say, this was going to be 2 days. 2 days, all done. Yeah, brilliant. I can handle that. And then literally on day one, it was already, well, we'll have to come back Friday and do that. I was like, you can't come back Friday. I have to work Friday. It turned out, actually, Dell was poorly. So he was in, he'd got some sort of cold, stomachy bug, lurgy. He wasn't right. So he had the day off sick on Friday anyway. And the absolute stress of dealing with all this chaos, of this ignorance, of this rudeness, of just being upheavaled like this, and floods, and having no power, and having no water, and all of that, it just sent me over the edge. So I ended up with the day off sick too. It was lovely to spend the day with Dell, but he was sniffling and snotting on the sofa, and I was pacing and pulling my hair out because I couldn't do anything, but I needed to do something. My cardiac arrhythmia, that was like all skibbity boop boop. Thankfully not as bad as it could have been. I have had stressful situations where I have ended up in what they call atrial fibrillation. Thankfully, wasn't that bad. But the stress of it all was horrendously bad. So yeah, it was lovely to spend the extra day with Dell, and it did mean the builders could come back for the 3rd day. But unfortunately, it did mean myself and Dell lost a day's pay due to the disorganisation and the chaos of these guys. And I suspect actually a lot of what was wrong with Dell was just the amount of dust and the debris. And I mean, look at it. This is the stairs. They put stuff down to protect the stairs. And this is the stuff that was on the stairs. All that in the air, I think it got to Dell's sort of nose and sinuses and lungs and all that, and made him a bit ugh. So yeah, look at it. Look, it's even in the bathroom, thick on everything. My shower curtain even got pulled down at one point. I asked you, I despair of it. But yeah, so we ended up with that 3rd day off anyway because of illness. Dell was unable to return to work on the Monday. So he was in on the Monday to try and sort out all the bits they'd missed and forgotten about. I was then off on the Tuesday. The builders were coming back on Tuesday to take the fireplace out and repair. There's a little box above me. So there's a radiator at the bottom, and then above that is our medicine cabinet, and above that there's a second radiator on the wall. They couldn't fit them down at the bottom because our bathroom's too small. So we have one at the top of the room and one at the bottom of the room. I'm too scared to turn the one at the top of the room on because it's constantly making this electrical buzzing, humming noise, and I'm like, is that safe? I mean, the electrician was pretty good at his job, bless him, but he worked for the same company that the heating installation people worked for. And if they're not competent, I'm kind of scared how competent he is. Apparently, he did work for himself beforehand, so perhaps he is slightly more qualified. I don't know. But look at the muck. Look at it. Yeah. This is why we were so depressed. Literally, we were living in a gravel cave for days. It just... oh, it's thick. It's everywhere. We were doing our best. We were staying as clean as we could. But it just... yeah. Every time you got clean, you got out the bath and it was like, I'm all covered in filth and grime again. Oh, it's been so hard, guys. It really has. I really appreciate each and every one of you waiting and being patient for the next upload. Like I say, the next few weeks may get a bit short on uploads as well, gearing up with work and stuff like that. But fingers crossed, it shouldn't be too much longer between each upload. Certainly the new year will be much better for uploads and staying on top of things. But yeah, unfortunately the end of 2024 has just been sketchy. It's been really sketchy for uploads. There's just been so much going on. We've had the outside of the house done. We've had the inside of the house done. We've had scaffolders destroying the place. We've had heating engineers destroying the place. We've had boundary disputes with neighbours that we're still in the process of sorting out. Yeah, 2024 has kicked my butt. Hopefully 2025 will be better. 2025 will be better. I'm going to make 2025 better. She says with absolute confidence, but no plan in the future whatsoever. This mould and mildew spray, useless. Useless. For some reason, the bottom of this bath mat has got a bit mouldy. Probably because it sits in the bath all the time, slightly damp. So I put the mould and mildew spray on there, as you can see, and I left it for a little while and thought, yeah, that'll take care of it. No. Wrong there. It did nothing. Did nothing. It worked on the shower curtain. I sprayed it on the shower curtain. Loads of it. I put tons on. Maybe I just didn't use enough. Maybe on each piece of mould you're supposed to use about half a bowl. Who knows? Who knows? I guess we'll figure it out. I might just go to bleach. Oh, I hate bleach. No, maybe I'll just get like a brand named mould and mildew remover. Because that one did work very well. I need it. Hopefully now with the new heating system being on all the time and it's constantly keeping it at a nice warm temperature, we won't really be getting so much condensation, which means less mould. Now this really annoyed me. I cleaned here, right, where they drilled through. I don't know what they drilled through. There's nothing there. Oh, this is where they cut the pipes off perhaps. I don't know. There's nothing here they needed to drill through, but while I'm wiping it away, they've left the sharp edge of the pipe just sticking out of the floor. Just, yeah, let's leave that there. No one needs to worry about that, you know. You're in the bathroom. You've got no shoes on, because who showers or bathes with their shoes on? And then, yeah, sharp pipe. All right, to be fair, who is standing in the corner of the bathroom right there? Probably not many people. But this isn't the only room it's in. It's also in Alyssa's bedroom. I haven't checked Craig's bedroom yet. But, yeah. Who leaves a piece of sharp copper pipe sticking out the flooring like that? Oh, yeah, but love, the pipes are buried under the concrete. And you don't want us digging up the concrete to take the pipes out, do you? Well, okay, no, you might be right then. But could you not grind it down to floor level and then, like, fill it in with cement so that there aren't sharp copper pipings sticking out of the floor random places about the place? Could you maybe not have done that? Do you think? Maybe no? No, we're just going to leave sharp copper piping sticking out the floor, right? Okay, cool. So now either I have to ring them up, sort that out, drag them back out and get them to replace, like, fill the holes in and sand the copper piping down, or I just have to do it myself. Quite frankly, I'm going to do it myself. As I showed you before with the trunking, as soon as you complain, they do things like that. There was no welding on that top pipe. Now, either he's really bad aim with a welding torch, or that could have been an act of malice, because I complained about the things they were doing wrong and the mess they were leaving. You know, like I said, if you looked in the corner at the first part of the video, you'll see that there's a lot of welds in that corner bit. And some of the welding torch did blow over and it did catch the trunking. Now, I know they're supposed to use heat resistant mats, but you know, they didn't. And it annoys me, it's caught slightly, but okay, you were welding in a tiny area and it caught a little bit. How on earth, that far away from the trunking, do you manage to burn the trunking to that degree that it melts it, warps it and crispifies it? It even started to crispify the wires inside as well. Thankfully, the electrician checked them over. They're all okay, they're fine, and he's replaced the trunking. But this is what I mean. I'm sitting in the house after I've complained about them to their boss type person, and the house is filling full of smoke. So I've gone over and I'm like, why is the house full of smoke? What's happening? Oh, don't worry, love, we're just welding. No. You've been welding quite a while and the house hasn't filled with blue smoke just yet. So what is it you're actually welding? Because that's not good. Could you perhaps open a door maybe if you are welding and it is making that much smoke? Do I really need to be here to hold your hand? So, yeah, it turns out actually what they were welding was my trunking. Because, like I say, I suspect anyway. I could be wrong. I doubt it. But yeah, it turns out they were welding my trunking. And that's what the smoke was. Well, I've just spotted my pumpkin. And it's just reminded me. I wanted to decorate for Halloween. Last year in October, I put the Halloween decorations up on the 1st of October. We had Halloween all through until the 31st of October when we celebrated Halloween properly. This year I wanted to do the same, but obviously with the house being in tatters, it didn't happen. I've got no idea where most of my Halloween decorations are actually. I sent Dell up in the loft to look for them and they've vanished. I did buy this cute little jack-o'-lantern. I love it. I think it's so sweet. Little light up one. It's going to stay inside. And I'm hoping to sort of add little bits and have a really good plan on where I'm going to put everything ready for next year. For now, it's just going to have to be what it's going to have to be. One lonely little jack-o'-lantern in the window. I know Alyssa's got a load of bits for Halloween. I may see if when she's off work she fancies putting them up. This is not a bin bag that has just been left in this living room, or dining room I should say. This is the bag I carry around with me. So when I do a good house clean, I take one big black bag around with me and a few little white bin bags for the rest of the bin. And I carry it round. There's not just a bin bag of rubbish in every single room. I mean, we're untidy. And yeah, sometimes we can be excruciatingly messy. But we're not dirty, filthy people. I mean, at the moment, we're dirty, filthy people. Because, well, there's just brick dust and mess and chaos everywhere. But as a rule, you know, as a general rule of thumb, we are not dirty people. It's just messy chaos. So no, there is not a bin bag in each room just full of trash. It is the one I have been carrying around with me. And I do in all my videos. So if you're ever watching my videos and you notice in each room there is a bin bag, just rest silently in your beds, knowing that it is not like, I don't know, there's 3 rooms upstairs, 4. There's not 6 bin bags of rubbish in my entire house in each room. It's just the same bag. All right, so now I've put that little disclaimer in, shall we get on with the rest of the tidying up? Well, the cleaning. I so badly want to do this deep clean, but I am not due another week off work until March now. March. Guys, March is going to be the spring clean. Can't wait to do that. That's going to be phenomenal. I'm going to have to pull everything out, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing with my week off. Big spring clean. I do have Alyssa's birthday off, but that's only like a weekend. I've, you know, told them I'm not available. We do one in 6 weekends, and I've told them I'm not available for that weekend. So I do have that weekend officially off, but it's for Alyssa's birthday, so I'm not going to be majorly cleaning. I don't know what she's planning for her birthday. I don't know what we've got planned for her birthday. I don't know what I've got planned for next week, much less a couple of months' time. Oh, I always wanted to be the sort of person that had everything planned and stuck to a routine and had everything neat and tidy and organised. Turns out I'm the sort of person that has a dinner table full of coat hangers. Yeah, that's the sort of person I am. I've been meaning to get tested for ADHD for months and months and months, and well, haven't yet done that because I just never remember. And there's always about a gazillion appointments I've got to get done on the same day. Someone's always asking for something or needing something, wanting something. So yeah, I've just never got round to actually getting myself assessed. It'll happen one day. It's not really going to change a lot. I'm still going to be the way I am, unless they give me maybe some medication. I don't know if they can do that or not. Who knows? We'll find out when I finally get round to booking an appointment. I've just noticed as well the bread bin that's sat on that dining room chair. I brought that bread bin so we could take the bread out of the cupboard, give her some space in there, and have a nice, pretty bread bin on the side. Nice and efficient, right? Not one person, including me, put the bread back in the bread bin. There would be a loaf of bread sitting on the side, and the empty bread bin sat right next to it. So I got angry one day, and no one was in my way. I just sort of threw it out of the kitchen into the living room, and it sat on the living room floor for about a week. I know it's bad, I shouldn't laugh, but I do. And then it sort of kind of just got moved around the house. Sometimes it's in here, sometimes it's in the living room. I need to throw it away, but it never seems to get thrown away, and I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I don't know why it never gets thrown away, but it needs to. I also don't know why we have so many coat hangers, and why, no matter how carefully you pick them up and put them down, they always end up in a giant tangle. They're like everyday Christmas tree lights. No matter how careful you are, every time you go and use them, they're just in this massive knot. I really, really do not understand. But still, I managed to get all my coat hangers hung up on the door frame. That's just where they live now. Seems to be their little home. They go up on the door frame till I put clothes on them. Then mine and Dell's clothes go upstairs. Craig's clothes go upstairs. And I pester Alyssa for about a month until she takes hers upstairs. Or I get bored and do it for her. Either way, they end up upstairs eventually. And also, in a minute, guys, I'm going to remove the last of the, clutter on this table. Take a look at my table. Here we go. There you go. Can you see the colour difference between the two? I certainly can. One side is shiny like a conker and the other's covered in dust. You can see it a bit better now the light's changed. There you go. Absolutely horrendous. Now give it a wipe. All shiny again. Like, it's like someone literally jumped on a bottle of talcum powder and just got dust everywhere. It is in everything. I cannot wait to get a good spring clean going. But a good spring clean is going to have to wait until I've got a week off work, because there is no way I can spring clean in a day. It's just not going to happen. And the little bit of time I get before and after work, again, I'm not going to have time to pull everything out. Talking of time, let's warp magic of time and get the ironing done. Ta-da! I've got ironing everywhere at the minute. It is absolutely ridiculous. It was in here because I had to move it out when the builders came. There's also a massive pile of it, as you saw earlier, on the sofa that actually needs sorting out as well. It literally, clean piles just get moved around the house. Never actually get around to putting anything away. I should. I need to be more efficient, but I never am. As I said earlier, I want to be like one of those efficient, tidy, cleany, neat freak people. I'm just not. It's just not me. And it makes me sad because I want to be, and I'm just not. Anyway, quick hoover around with Woody trying to protect me from the vacuum cleaner. And we're going to whiz through the ironing. This is another day, literally another day. Another change of clothes and probably a few days after the hoover around of the dining room. But I can whiz through the ironing in no time, tidy up the sofa and sort out all this pile of clean laundry that still hasn't been put away, even as I'm doing this voiceover. It's all sitting waiting to be put away. But guys, I am running out of time on this video now, so we're going to speed through this laundry and then I'm going to show you what's left. I've got all this left to get through. The kitchen still to clean, and I am exhausted. So I'm going to let you go. I'll see you in the next video and I'll get the kitchen clean. Bye for now.